Alright folks, back again. Today I'm in the local town of Seaham, which is right next to my little village. It's a lovely little place right on the coast, County Durham. And I'm going to do something a little bit different today. So I'm going to meet a local lad called Dave McKenna. He's actually a veteran. He's a lovely fella. I've met him on a few occasions. And what he's doing is, he's doing a 3-day and 3-night camp in the Terrace Green of Seaham to raise awareness about homeless veterans. Basically, the crack is, it's sofa surfing veterans. So obviously, as you know, there's a lot of veterans, there's a lot of lads who leave the army. They have PTSD, there's different circumstances as to why they struggle in civvy life. Some just can't adjust to civvy life. But what he's doing is he's doing a 3-day and 3-night camp to raise awareness of this and try and provide more support. He's doing it for a charity called East Durham Veterans Trust, which I believe he plays a big part in. Basically, it's just helping and giving advice to veterans and lads who are struggling when they come out of the army, you know, because there isn't really enough advice there. Some of them end up homeless and they've got no means or no skills. They've got the skills from the army, obviously they're intelligent blokes, but in terms of civvy life, it's totally different. So what he's doing is he's raising awareness for that. Can't speak today. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you all about it. I'll let him tell you all about it. I'm just going to have a walk along the coast and I'm going to go meet up with him now. He's living in a little gazebo, set up like a living room. I went down and had a big crap with him yesterday, so we'll see when we get there.
My battalion, we fought through.
So here I am down North Terrace, see him on the front. It's Tommy by Ray Lonsdale, 1101. And these are lads here. All right, Mara. How are you doing? All right, like? This is Davey. All right, Mara?
Yeah, not bad,
Sure.
not bad.
Right. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Well, Chris, for 3 nights and days, we're going to be stopping down here in what we're calling the Staying with Tommy campaign.
Right.
Basically, it's highlighting homeless veterans, but more importantly, the hidden homeless, which we call them the sofa surfing soldiers or veterans. So we've built a makeshift living room just to replicate a sitting room and the sofa, which we'll be kipping on for 3 nights.
Yep.
We've put a few pictures up where it's just slogans, as you can see there, homeless veterans, more inner city type of homeless.
Yeah.
But if you look over there, the sofa surfing homeless, that's normally the type of people we deal with through the East Durham Veterans Trust.
Yeah.
We're also trying to raise a few quid for the fund, because obviously they've got to pick up the pieces.
Do.
And we also want to highlight and try and get it over the government that we think they need to do more for the veterans, especially the homeless side.
Absolutely, aye.
And give funds to the smaller charities who are picking up the pieces every day.
Definitely.
So that's in a bit of a broad brush.
In a bit of a nutshell, aye. So how did you first get involved?
Well, me and my oppo here, Joe, we'll try to do as much as we can locally for veterans, and that's what it's all about, supporting our local veterans and a little bit of buddy system. I'm also a trustee at the East Durham Veterans Trust, who do loads for it's our local charities.
Yeah.
We do counselling for veterans, homeless, help them fill in benefit forms, help them find furniture, food, all different, anything basically. You come in, you go in a shoe, they'll try and
Providing support straight away, and
they're doing a great job.
because you find, I think there's like a serious lack of support. I think a lot of people think that the government hasn't really done themselves. So it's good for years that you're actually out there helping and providing support for lads who's left the force, isn't it?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you've got the buddy system that we've all been, you know, from day dot you're trained to look out for each other, look after each other, and that's happening in City Street. Hence why all these, not just these Durham Veterans Trusts, there's smaller charities all over the country doing great things for their local veterans, and that's what we're here for. Basically, we want to support, but the government have got, and it's welcome, they have got an fortitude, which they ploughed in 8 million to help homeless veterans, but it's more of a call centre, it's just a signpost exercise. The trust and all the charities, they find, you know, the walk-ins and veterans better off talking to veterans.
It's face to face, and it's
So it's veteran looking after veterans.
I think some people find it hard to pick the phone up sometimes and talk. I mean, it hasn't got the personal effect as what it does when you stand and talk to someone face to face, and
veterans will always talk to each other, and there's that good chance they'll open up more and explain the problems, share the issues. And sofa surfing's big. I think there's estimated 4,000 homeless veterans in the country, but I would say probably half of them is sofa surfing, jumping from one sofa to the next. And there's obviously underlying issues why that's happened, and that could be numerous reasons: addictions, breakups, PTSD. The list is endless. It's problems, and it's a big issue.
That's it, isn't it? So, do you want to tell us a little bit about what regiments you served in, Joe? You can start.
Yeah, well, I'm Joe Walker, an ex-miner, same colliery, the Knack colliery, which is where the Durham Artillery Volunteers originated from. 26 miners at the Knack, and also ex-warrant officer, 4th Regiment, and that's the local regiment. And this is very much part of our recruiting area. I was recruited from here, and it's big. It's from Sunderland down to Darlington. It's their recruiting area, and always has been. And so they're very heavily northeast formed, and most of their recruits coming from the northeast.
Yep, it's a proud thing and all for the northeast, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and the history behind the artillery in Seam, stems back from when the 3rd Marquess of Londonderry formed the second Durham Same Artillery Volunteers.
Right back in the beginning, wasn't it?
1863, yeah. With 26 miners from the Knack Pit. So, yeah. So that's...
It's a lot of history that people don't know about that.
I came back here 2.5 years ago. I met Dave at the East Durham Veterans Association. And we got on chatting. And I said, look, if you want some help, I'm doing nothing at the minute. I'll come and be your oppo, and I'll help you with same military themed events. And it's took off from there. We sort of second home is the Cenotaph.
Aye,
And
it's brilliant though.
This is World War I with Tommy. We've also got the now we've got a gun
Yes,
on the where was the North Battery.
I got a bit of footage of that earlier on. Aye.
Yeah, well, we got that. There's a piece of scrap down in Wiltshire, and we've managed to rescue it and bring it up here, done it up, and waiting for the information board, and then that's done.
Aye.
But that's World War II now, and the same artillery volunteers had it in Burma in 1942. So it links the miners and the artillery volunteers, the military history, and
Brings our proud history back, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
For this area especially, innit? So what did you serve in?
I served in the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers for 24 years, left in the rank of Colour Sergeant, and I just want to replicate what Joe said. When I met Joe, he was straight on board, and that's what it's all about. He'd come back to his hometown and he wants to help out the local veterans in the town. I think it's like brilliant. And there's not just me and Joe, you know, there's a good few hundred, and not just in Sale, you know, surrounding areas. And I think obviously Tommy's come and it's ignited a lot of interest, but today and over this weekend it's predominantly we've got to put the spotlight on these veterans. They're hitting surface surfing. That's where we really want to keep our focus.
Yeah.
Raise the profile as much as we can, raise a few quid for the Veterans Trust, you know, the local registered charity, and get it out there, and hopefully people will spread the word.
Hopefully so, yeah. You've got a GoFundMe page, haven't you, as well?
GoFundMe page.
Which I'll put in the link as well, so you can all have a look at that. Please donate, because it goes to a good cause at the end of the day. It's something that not many people are aware of. It's something that not many people are familiar with, until you explain. I mean, I learnt a lot yesterday when I was having a bit crap with you. Things I didn't know about it, so it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know, I know before we close it up, Chris, we are veterans focused, but I know there's the same issues going on to, you know, what we call civilians.
Yes.
It's not just us. Obviously, we're looking after our own the best way.
Yeah.
But we, you know, it is happening all over the country for everybody.
It is. Do you want to talk about what your role was as well? Tell us a bit about the regiment that you were in and how long you served for.
I served for 23 years, as I said, finished as a warrant officer, and I was served with 4th Regiment in Munsterlager out in Germany, then Catterick, then to Aldershot when we became involved with the parachute battalions down there. We supported 2 and 3 para during the Falklands War, and travelled down with them on an old ferry, North Sea ferry from Hull. Nobody ever did Hull to Rotterdam, and so 8,000 miles was a bit of a risk. And yeah, we formed part of 2 para battle group, and I suppose that's the only conventional war since the Second World War.
Yeah.
Where all 3 services were involved.
Absolutely.
Which I'm a bit proud to say that. Yeah, and now I just want to get involved with the veterans. I'm back to my roots.
Aye, I'm back to see him.
Do as much as I can, absolutely.
It's class. And you've been his bunkmate for the night, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right.
It'll be great, as we said, dossing down with Joe.
Dossing down, aye.
And we couldn't have asked for a better day. It's glorious.
Aye, the weather's class, as you can see. I've got a few shots earlier on. The sun's just starting to go down now, so you've got the warm weather for tonight.
And Chris, I know you've got to wind it up, but
No.
if any veterans or anybody out there local just wants to come down and chat over the weekend, we can, or they want us to help them signpost. If they've got any issues, we can signpost them in the right direction, get them on the trust, help them out, put them in the right direction, and hopefully get on the right track.
Absolutely. Wise words. Thank you, gents. Thank you very much. Ta.
stop talking. Let's eat this curry and chips before I get put the car out.
There's some strand there.
No, I'm only fucking red hot.
It's boiling. Honestly, it's boiling.
See the steam coming off that.
Be
We have a bite.
a couple of years before anything.
Smile.
Oh yes.
You bonny bunch.
Yeah.
Chest warmer. Tucked up. So these lovely two gentlemen here, you tucked up snug as a bug.
Exactly.
I didn't even need to set my bivvy up.
No, this
This
is
is
what
that
you call
kip in the middle.
sofa surfing.
Aye, sofa surfing at its finest. And there we are, in the elements. So we've had a canny night. It's been good crack.
Been good
With
crack.
my
Yeah.
two Maras here, we've had a little drink
Great
there.
night.
Great night, shared some port and that. And we're going to get to bed now. So we'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Breakfast time. Some buns and some bacon and brown sauce. Spot on.
This morning.
Right.
Cook up
thanks
the
a lot,
buggies.
Chris.
Need what them are at.
Are you still in?
Well, not in the Fusiliers anymore.
I know you went to the
Right, so we've had a good night's kip last night, haven't we? We slept
Well,
really well.
sofa surfing's okay for
Aye,
a couple of nights,
yes.
but I wouldn't like to be doing it for months on end and jumping from one setting to the next.
And some people are doing it for years on end, sometimes until they get the stuff together. So that's the major concern, but we
It's not
sleep
so
well.
bad. Some people had a sofa.
Aye, some people had a sofa, aye. But aye, having a really good night with these two. We had a good laugh last night. They've shared loads of crack with us last night, which was brilliant. But the main issue is that we're highlighting, obviously, we've had a fair few donations, and it's great that people still donate. So what I'll do is I'll put the donation in the bio, and if anyone can give a little bit, it'd be well appreciated, wouldn't it, gentlemen? So
Yeah, just to finish off from me, I would just like to say thanks everyone for donating. Keep the donations coming, but also keep the awareness as homeless veterans out there, and if you can help, please do.
that's it. Thank you very much.
No
Out to
problem.
see you. Aye.
That's it.
Right. See
Nice
you
one.
later. Ta-ra.
Good evening. A former soldier from County Durham says homeless veterans deserve better support from the government. David McKenna, who served in the forces for more than 2 decades, is currently sleeping out to highlight what he says is a hidden crisis amongst former soldiers. With the story is Chris Conway.
It's homelessness that often goes under the radar, but for ex-soldier David McKenna, it's a worrying situation. Veterans with nowhere to go, reliant on friends to stay off the streets.
Someone's sofa surfing's he's hidden, he's not seen. Now, if I was on the street with a cardboard box saying, homeless veteran, I'm seen, and more than likely I'll get picked up. But a lot of veterans, it's pride that keeps them hidden.
David's a former Fusilier and has set up camp next to Tommy in Seaham, himself sofa surfing there this weekend to highlight the issue. He's being supported by Andy, who runs the East Durham Veterans Trust, an ex-soldier himself, and he feels the government's Operation Fortitude, which is about getting veterans off the streets, doesn't go far enough.
What about those veterans who are, okay, they're in employment, but they've got nowhere to go because of the relationship breakdown? That's where we need additional support from the government and for charities such as these Down Veterans Trust, so we can continue the hard work we've been doing in supporting the veteran community.
The government says it's committed to ending veteran rough sleeping, adding it has provided £8 million to fund tailored support for veterans. For David, the answer to the question of homelessness amongst the ex-forces community is simple.
An early intervention can stop all of this homelessness, can stop all of this mental health issues, and potentially stop addictions. We believe all veterans deserve a roof over their head.
Another night of sofa surfing awaits David before he gets to go home. He knows that for some of his former colleagues, there's still a long way to go before they can say the same. Chris Conway, ITV News.
Some more of the day's news.